Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and this is the Sonata Ultra Thin Holding Plier. That's what they call it. You can see the name here, PLC 200 GUB, made in Japan. Three things I'm going to address in this video. The first is there is no cover of any kind, no plastic or vinyl on the handles. The second thing is it's a triple joint, but it's an inline triple joint. The third thing is that it has a very thin profile and, in this case, offset. Now, I'm pronouncing this Sonata. I'm kind of making my a bit of an O sound. I don't know how to pronounce it. There is a Formula One racer named Yuki Tsunoda, or Tsunoda, I guess is how they pronounce his name, so something like that. But anyway, it's a Japanese tool. This is an 8-inch design. It does have a lanyard hole there for tether retention, and it sells for under 20 bucks in either the straight or the bent head version. There is a straight one as well, both low profile. Had a few other low profiles or thin blade ones. This one's not super thin. This is an old Snap-on. You can see this is the LP5 Slim. It's not really the best. In fact, this design that Snap-on was selling, I'm glad that they got the Malco factory. You can see this one's made in Spain. These were notorious for failing, for bending. These kind of inexpensive rivets were breaking. I was told many years ago, I mean, I've had this thing for over a decade, but I told a long time ago to stay away from them. But I thought a thin profile in a tiny one, I'm probably safe. And so far I have been. And I would use this thing if I needed to like clamp down on something to hold it in position. I could easily drop that on, and then I've locked it in, but you can see I still have clearance. Maybe if I needed to try to drop a wrench in there, you know, it might be possible still. So rarely used, but really essential when that was what I needed. But it wasn't a plier, really. I mean, yes, it's a locking plier, but you can't really use these as easily like you can traditional pliers. I went with something like this then. This is an engineer pocket. This is a TWM-08. Wonderful little tool for those things, especially little plumbing applications. It'd be nice if they had, you know, a softer jaw version. But this thing allows you to easily, you know, reach in and, say, lock down a pair of nuts here that you might end up wanting to seat against each other to, you know, create a stop or something like that. A lot of times we try to do it with bigger ones, and this is just too thick. You can see it blocks everything. We might go in with needle nose pliers. That's how we used to do it, and you'd try to hold it with those, and of course they'd keep snapping loose, and you'd settle for less. But anyway, I wanted a pair of the pliers that I could easily grab inside something like that and hold it, and then have working room out here. Now these have a triple joint design that is straight. So here's another thing. Snap-on has a triple joint, but theirs is in an arc, and I have received a lot of comments and emails about that, because if you go to the middle lock point, the middle slip joint there, middle joint, you see that these no longer line up. Well, of course they don't, because you've changed the elevation of one of the arms relative to the other, and then of course it settles back down when you get to the bottom of the arc on the other side. That's the same on both, and that caught some people off guard. It looks like a bent piece of or a bent plier, bent metal, or something's not lining up. But they've been doing this forever. I mean, I love these. These are kind of my go everywhere. I've got them in all my vehicles right up front because I'm always grabbing them. Super handy, super small, the 46 ACF. You got to have a pair of these. In fact, a pair everywhere. But, of course, I drop it into the middle, and you can see there's the misalignment, which isn't... Miss means it's a problem or an accident. No, that's just a function of the arc, but you're not using these in the small closed spot. You get them out here, and they start to sort of balance out. You use this spot in the slip joint or in the triple joint here for things when you really want to close in tight. That's the same here. You can see it lines up there, go to the middle, and it's off. Now these are the 49 ACFs. I love it, and these would be on my short list if I could only have one tool in the entire world. What would it be? It might be these. But anyway, back to these guys. So the triple joint on this, these line up straight because the holes are straight across. So that's just an observation here. A simple design. It does have a cutter on it right here. I don't know if that's really necessary on pliers, but it works. I mean, necessary on these pliers. I've got way better cutters. But for grabbing things, simple design, useful. I think they've nailed it. But there's one other thing to talk about, and that is this. This is an undipped, uncovered handle. I mean, it is painted or whatever they use, whatever kind of coating. And in the old days, we used to only have that. This is a snap-on. It's one of my favorite little old vintage tools. This is a snap-on vacuum grip. And I actually have received comments of people who miss this. That's their preference, is the old uncovered metal textured grip, including the vacuum grip. What I like about this, though, this is like a battery plier, except a lot of times we need two sizes. You know, smaller cable connections or terminal connections and larger ones. Well, this is both. They don't make this anymore. I've had offers from people, they want to buy these. You can get, I think, other slip joint battery ones, but this one's kind of cool. Chrome's coming off of it. But anyway, back to this guy. The concept of a covered or uncovered handle in the 21st century is interesting. Why would you want something that doesn't have any kind of a cushion or a grip or, you know, a texture, just bare slippery metal? Well, very easy to clean, extremely low maintenance, nothing to you know, start to gouge or start to come apart. It's just rock solid. So you won't see ancient tools like this one with a coated grip, even if it started out with one. And I've got old Kleins that the grips have long since fallen off. Or they start to crack and then you just rip them off anyway. You can buy Plastidip and drop the tool down into a you know, a vat, a little can of a plastic coating, and coat it however you want. Or some people even do, you know, multiple coatings to get thicker grips or different colors. But overall, I don't know, there's still plenty of room for a real simple design like that. And it increases cost when you do some kind of a, is that a cut? Good. I think that's the problem. That's what I'm talking about. I don't think it is yet. But anyway, so there's plenty of room for not putting any kind of a coating on a pair of pliers. So anyway, there they are for what they're worth. This is kind of in my New Year's resolution, is I want to work more with the Japanese branded pliers. There are several different kinds. Lots of people have dug into them and discovered some wonderful, unique tools. So this is my start right here for 2024. I've obviously worked with some of the Sonata pliers or Sonata pliers in the past, as well as a few other Japanese brands. But triple joint, extremely low profile, bent jaw, 8-inch utility grabbing pliers, I guess they call them. And with that, dock out.